Hey, my name's Dave Adams. You're watching Nerds of Wisdom Weekly. Let's see what's happening now. In the brief today, Apple should be coming out with an announcement on the iPhone in the next couple of weeks. Speculated in that announcement is that Apple will be getting rid of the headphone jack. This means that people will either have to use Bluetooth, wireless, or some sort of lightning jack, which I believe they will be designing. This met with disapproval from co-founder Steve Wozniak, who stated that getting rid of the headphone jacks was a really bad mistake. He said that Bluetooth just comes through as sounding hollow and doesn't really produce good sound for listening, and so people are going to still want the headphones there. Now, this may not have set Apple off on the best foot, considering they're set to announce their iPhone 7 in 2 weeks. However, it couldn't have been more disruptive than the Bianco Technology Group report into the state of mobile performance. In their report, they discovered that iOS devices had a 58% failure rate for the first time, pushing them lower than the Android. Does this really mean a drop in the quality of Apple products, or is it just a blip on the radar of what has been a relatively good run? What we do know is that when Steve Jobs left Apple last time, they went into quite a slump. At this stage, it's probably a bit too early to tell, and only time will let us know the answer to that question. Finally, in the brief today, I want to give a big lot of love to our friends at Google who are up to their wonderful antics again. If you go to your Google search bar and type in the words Solitaire or Tic-Tac-Toe, you'll be able to play the little game that they've created. I love it when they do this sort of stuff. It's so much fun. It's just a nice little flavor on the internet to go and just enjoy that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's great to do it at work time. Not that I endorse that at all. Don't do that, you know, only during your time. It's great to see Google having a bit of fun with the internet and giving us a little bit of joy and smile on people's faces. The big news this week has to be the release of No Man's Sky, which rocketed with sales and has plummeted with people switching the game off. When the game first came out, there was lots of glitches and bugs and problems with the interface, and some people had to actually go in and manually override commands and files which were in the PC version. The media package didn't seem to match up with people's expectations. This is meant to be an expansive game where you're exploring an entire universe, trying to get to the center of the universe. The vastness of it is so great that you're not meant to encounter a lot of people during the game, but it does kind of sell people on the idea that there's going to be multiplayer aspects to it. People are saying that that multiplayer aspect is essentially non-existent in the game. And what is there is kind of lackluster in its performance or its display. Other people, on the other hand, have praised it, saying it is a work of art and that this is more of a hobby rather than just a game. Now, on top of that, it has come with a slurry of bad reviews on Steam, and the game even received a huge drop-off in the following week of an 81% drop-off. When the sales are that high in its opening week, and the next week there's an 81% drop-off, those numbers sound incredibly high and sound like they back up the claims that the game is not performing or underperforming. However, those numbers are quite deceptive and not really an indication of how the game's doing. Uncharted 4, which was a huge, monumental success, had a 78% drop-off in its following week. So these numbers are really not truly an identification of what's actually happening. Now, one of the things the developers have done well is that they've kept in constant contact with the community, trying to meet expectations, trying to solve these problems and releasing patches and updates. However, for me, the best part has been the player mods. Within a couple of days, players had already started to develop mods for the game to solve the problems that were there upon its release. Within the week, there was over 100 mods that people had designed and developed, and people were already releasing their top 5 or top 10 mods to use with the game. And in the States, it's a big issue because the idea of altering a game after you've bought it is illegal in the States. In Australia, those laws don't really exist. I can take anything home I want and do to it whatever I want because once I've paid for it, I own it. However, the issue of legality in the States is that once you've bought it, the people who sold the item still have rights to how it was constructed. What they're trying to stop is people going home and cracking these things and deconstructing them and then reconstructing them, stealing the technology and the patent ideas in the product itself. Now, what that means is that people creating these mods are probably breaking the law in the state. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to try and get into the legal side of this. What I do want to say, though, is that I hope the creators take this as an opportunity and not as a reason to go and sue people or to try and make them stop. What you have now is a whole creative body of people behind a product willing to support it with their own efforts. They could use or capitalize on these people's efforts to make the game better at a rate faster than what they're capable of doing it themselves. Now, however the game is made or however it's meant to go, this could be a real door opener and an opportunity for the world within the game to expand and grow at a faster rate than they initially intended, if they can capitalize on these people's efforts. Now, one of the games that I've reviewed in the past is Killer Bunnies, and it's possibly one of the games I dislike the most. However, one of the things I have to give credit for is how the designers and developers have capitalized on the community and their contributions. People started sending in letters and ideas about how to move the game forward and what to create and which bunnies to include, and all of these ideas they started to put into action. They took the good ones and they utilized them, and then they started opening up the doors for the rest of the community to offer their suggestions. In a similar vein, the game Smash Up has now been releasing expansions utilizing player preferences or player voting polls or player suggestions. All of this has just created a greater, more abundant, richer game and strengthened the resolve of the community, giving the game new life and a whole marketing ploy which just can't be capitalized on in any other way. Because when players have their own cards that they've voted on or they've suggested being designed and developed by the developers, then they're going to be your greatest source of marketing. I think this could be a similar vein for No Man's Sky, and I really hope that they capitalize on this and take it to the next level. Really start to open this game up and give people a chance to contribute, even in the design and the creation of the worlds which people may or may not come across. Who knows? I'm still excited about this game. I'm excited about what it can offer. I'm excited about what people can get out of it as an experience as much as a game. And I'm really looking forward to what it could contribute to the gaming community overall. I hope that as designers and developers that they really find a way to tap into this rich resource which is already in their community, ready and willing to give it a go. This week with Nerds of Wisdom, there will be a core mechanic coming out Thursday. Keep your eyes open for that one. Also, if you go to www.gamerpalooza.com.au, there will be articles up about new releases, expansions, and of course I've written a few articles as well. Check out my latest one on Monopoly, where I look through the strategies and the ways of thinking through the game and how it's contributed to making the gaming community a better thing. Again, I hate the game, but you still got to check this out. Also, check out my review of Unfair, which is still up on Kickstarter. You've still got time to go and back this project. They have already met their target of $47,000 and are skyrocketing through the $100,000 mark. I'll provide the link below, so check that one out. Also, I can announce that Nerds of Wisdom has been given 2 panel spaces on the Sunday of Comic-Con. I could have gotten the Saturday, except my friend decided to get married on Comic-Con weekend. Brisbane Comic-Con, 18th of December, 11 AM. I'm doing a panel on board game and video game design and how they can help each other. And at 3 PM, we are doing the Nerds of Wisdom game show. We will have a couple of special guests. We're going to have people from the audience. We're going to have prizes for the audience. We've been sponsored by Gamerpalooza as well as Hexagony. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Come along, watch us ask pop culture trivia quizzes, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out. I hope to see you there. Well, thanks for watching. That's all we've got time for now. If you like what we're doing, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and be a part of our community. I'm Dave Adams. You've been watching Nerds of Wisdom Weekly, and that's what's happening now.